Hi friends, this is Shannon from the Appalachian Center for the Arts, and this is Prop It Up. So, many of you know me as the production manager for the Appalachian Center for the Arts, and many of you know that I also serve as props master for the app as well. For those of you who are new to the theater world, a props master is in charge of buying, building, or borrowing any props for a specific production. A prop is anything basically that is brought on stage or carried by an actor. For the app's purposes, it's basically anything that's not screwed down to the floor. So I'm in charge of finding or building or borrowing furniture, food, set dressing, sometimes even animals if that production calls for it. So over the years, I've tried to document the different props that I've gotten to make. However, what I am not good at is showing how I make them. So we thought over at the app that it might be kind of fun to do a couple videos on how I go about creating these props, what my process is as far as deciding what types of material to use, what colors to use, all of that fun jazz. Some of these projects you'll be able to do at home with things that you already have. So I hope that if that is the case, you will build these props right along with me. I think it'll be fun. So this summer, we are planning to do Seussical the Musical Junior. And for those of you who don't know much about Seussical, that is a story based on Dr. Seuss's book, Horton Hears the Who. And we all know the lovely storybook, Horton Hears the Who, where he finds a speck of dust and he places that speck of dust on a nice little clover and he tries to save the smallest of the small. So obviously in this play, the clover is going to be a very important prop throughout the entire show. So I thought that it might be kind of fun to show you guys how I think I'm going to make this clover prop. Now, before I start any props project, before I start making anything, after I read the script and I talk to the design team, and after I make a list of all the props that I find in the show, I always start with research. Now, I'm a very visual person, so my research is mostly pictures from the time period of the show, information on the playwright, any information that you can find about the world of the show. For this purpose, I took a lot of my research from the actual Horton Hears the Who book, since it's based on that story. So I went to the book and I looked through the pages and I found some really great pictures of Horton and the clover that he holds. So I've got those pictures in front of me, and that's what I'm going to base this clover off of. Now, looking at these pictures, I can already think of 3 different ways that I can make this clover, right? So I could maybe go the 2D route and draw it and maybe put it on a piece of cardboard, and maybe that's what the actor will carry around. Also, in the picture, the clover looks kind of fuzzy, and it reminds me of one of those yarn pom-pom balls. So I thought maybe that's what I could do. I could make a bunch of yarn pom-pom balls and stick them to, I don't know, pipe cleaners or a pencil, anything colorful, and that could be the clover. But for our purposes, I think what I'm going to do is use tissue paper and pipe cleaners. I'm doing this for a few different reasons, mostly because we're planning on having clovers all throughout the set. So this is something that I can make a lot of and can make a lot of different colors and sizes, and it's really cost effective. Tissue paper and pipe cleaners don't cost a lot of money. So that's something that I have to keep in mind when I'm picking props, is what my budget is. So for this project, I have some pipe cleaners, and I've got some tissue paper, and I've got that picture of the clover in my mind. I've decided on orange and pink for the clover. I'm taking the pink from the picture and orange I had in my craft box, so I decided that that might be kind of fun to add to the clover as well. And these are things, like I said, that you probably have in your craft supplies at home. So I hope that you make them right along with me. I'll show you how I do it, and we'll go from there. So I've got a couple layers of just gift wrap tissue paper. It's about 10 layers here. And I've cut a square, I'd say it's probably 8 by 8. And just put those layers all together, and we're just going to accordion fold this tissue paper. Now, when you accordion fold the tissue paper, the smaller the folds, the more full your clover is going to be. And that's really a personal preference to you about how full you want your clover, but I want mine pretty full, so I'm gonna make them kind of small folds. I'm doing, maybe ½ an inch at the most of accordion folds. And you're just gonna fold them back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Nice. Okay, so we've got our accordion folded. You pinch it in the middle, it kind of looks like a fan right here. Okay, so let's put that to the side. I'm gonna try and put it against my coffee. Coffee is a very important thing that everyone needs when building props. I don't know, that's what props people are fueled on, it seems like. So coffee and glitter and hot glue. Okay, so I've got my pipe cleaners. Now I'm putting 4 pipe cleaners together, and that I'm doing that because this clover is going to be kind of top heavy, and I need to make sure that the stem of the clover will be able to support how heavy these papers are. Now I'm using 2 different tones of green, and I'm doing that because in the picture I saw one of the stems is yellow and one of the stems is green and yellow, and in my craft supplies I don't have yellow right now, but I kind of like the 2-tone option. So I took 2 different tones of green, and I've just put them together, and I'm just going to twist them all together. Just twist, 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 so that it kind of becomes just one stem. Beauteous. Okay, so here we go. One stem. Awesome. And it kind of looks like a candy cane. I like that. Okay, so we've got your stem. We've got your fan flower. You're going to pinch it in the middle, and you're going to take this pipe cleaner, and you're just going to tightly wrap it around the middle. It's okay if it kind of pinches together. It'll make it better anyway. There we go. So pinch it nice and tight, just like so. Nice. Let's see. Okay, yes. Okay. Then the next thing that we want to do, since this is now held together, we're going to want to take the ends of your tissue paper, take a pair of scissors, and we're going to want to just round off those ends of the tissue paper. This will kind of help it keep that rounded shape that we saw in the picture. If we just make these edges nice and round and do it to both ends. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay. So the next thing that I'm going to do, because I was looking at these clovers and I thought, oh yeah, I can just make a tissue paper flower and that'll be good. But like I said before, we're going to have a lot of clovers all throughout the set. And so I was trying to think of ways that I could kind of make this clover a little bit more special. Why is this the clover that Horton picks to put the little speck of dust on? And as I was looking at the picture of Horton holding the clover, I saw that there was a little clover on top of the clover, and I thought, well, that's kind of fun. I thought that might be a fun little detail to add to this clover. So before I fluff it out, I've got smaller tissue paper squares, and I'm going to put these together, accordion fold them, and then put them on top of this flower, and that'll be the little flower that goes from the big clover. So let's get that together. These are these squares. Let's make them, I say probably 6 or 5 inches by 6 or 5 inches. I'm going to make them a little bit more square here. They'll just be little clovers here. So it's the same thing. We're just going to take the clovers and we're going to accordion fold them just like so. And I need another pipe cleaner. Now for this one, you don't need to put 4 pipe cleaners together. This will be a pretty light flower, so it probably doesn't need that much support. So I'm just taking 1 pipe cleaner and I'm going to go ahead and wrap that around the tiny little flower. And I'm going to make that round edge. There we go. And we've got the little clover. So we're going to start off by opening up this little clover, and then we're also going to open up the top clover, or the bottom clover, excuse me. So when you open up this clover, just one by one, you are going to pull each layer apart. Now you want to be pretty careful because this tissue paper is thin, and so you don't want to pull too hard, otherwise it'll rip. So, and this I only put, I think, like 6 layers of tissue paper on. You guys hear my dog? She's seeing birds outside. She wants to go outside so bad. I'll have to take her out after this. It's important to get some outside time. I know a lot of us are self-quarantined right now. Make sure that you are spending some time outside, getting some fresh air, even if it's in your front yard. Okay, so here we go. And we've got a little mini clover. How nice. Okay. So mini clover. And now we're going to attach it to the bigger clover. So you want to bring it, I put it about maybe, halfway up. And I'm just going to wrap the bottom of this around the middle, just like so. So we have a little clover coming from the bigger clover. And now you're going to take these pieces, these layers of the clover, and you are going to spread those out just like we did the mini ones, okay? So now we have this beautiful tissue paper clover with a little clover coming out from the bigger clover. How nice is that? Pretty cool, huh? Let's see if the stem is strong enough. I might have to reinforce that a little bit. But also, I kind of like that it's bendy because, you know, in Dr. Seuss books, there's never a straight line. He makes everything curved, and I kind of like that. So it's colorful. We got the different tones of green. That's pretty nice. So if you made this clover with me at home, I'd love to see some pictures. Show some pictures down in the comments below. Also, if there's another prop that you want to know how I make, comment below and ask me. And if I've made that prop, I will make it again and show you what process I used. If I haven't made that prop, I will try to make it, and we'll figure it out together. I love that challenge. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Stay happy, stay healthy, and create something today, because it's good for your soul.